My name is Lena, and for a long time, I thought love was supposed to hurt a little. Not because anyone taught me that, but because every time I felt something real, it came wrapped in longing, silence, and waiting. I lived in a quiet coastal town where days moved slowly. I worked at a small art gallery near the pier, the kind of place tourists wandered into when they wanted something peaceful. My life was simple. Wake up early. Walk by the sea. Go to work. Go home. After a few broken relationships, I had learned how to protect myself. I stopped expecting anything from anyone. And honestly, that felt safe. I wasn't looking for love. That's usually when it finds you. I met him on an ordinary afternoon. He came into the gallery just before closing, wearing a calm expression, like someone who carried the weight of many thoughts but didn't let them show. He stood in front of one painting for a long time, then asked me about it. Not in a polite way. In a curious way. He listened. Really listened. And something about that made me feel noticed. We started talking. About art. About travel. About life. He had a gentle voice, the kind that made you lean in without realizing it. When he smiled, it felt warm, familiar, like something I had missed without knowing why. He came back the next day. And the next. Soon, our conversations stretched longer. Sometimes we walked by the water after my shift. Sometimes we just stood quietly, watching the waves. He never rushed me. Never crossed a line. But the space between us felt charged, like something unspoken was slowly growing. I told myself it was harmless. Just conversation. Just connection. But I noticed how my heart reacted when I saw him. How my body relaxed when he stood close. How the world seemed softer when he said my name. One evening, while we sat on a bench near the lighthouse, he looked at the ocean and said, "Being here with you feels like breathing again." That sentence stayed with me. It settled somewhere deep. A few weeks later, he told me the truth. He was married. The words didn't come dramatically. He didn't cry. He didn't make excuses. He just said it quietly, like a confession he had been holding too long. He had children. A life somewhere else. Responsibilities he couldn't leave. I felt my chest tighten. My mind screamed that this was where I should walk away. But my heart was already involved. "I didn't plan this," he said. "I didn't expect you." Neither did I. I went home that night and barely slept. I told myself I would end it. That I deserved better. But when my phone lit up the next morning with a simple message, "Are you okay?" I felt something inside me soften. That's how it began. We didn't call it a relationship. We didn't give it a name. We met quietly. Always away from crowds. No photos. No public gestures. Just stolen moments and long conversations that felt too intimate for something so undefined. He made me feel wanted. Not in a loud way. In a careful, deliberate way. He remembered small details about me. The books I loved. The way I took my coffee. The songs that made me emotional. When he looked at me, it felt like I mattered. And I became addicted to that feeling. I waited for his messages. I rearranged my days around his visits. I ignored invitations from friends. My world slowly became smaller. Just him and the space he left behind when he was gone. Sometimes we sat together in silence, close enough to feel each other's presence, not touching, but deeply aware. Those moments felt intimate in a way that didn't need explanation. I told myself this was love. But love started to feel heavy. When he left, I felt empty. When days passed without hearing from him, I felt restless. I hated how much power his attention had over my mood. One night, after he left again, I stood by my window and realized I was always waiting. Waiting for messages. Waiting for visits. Waiting for a future he never promised. I asked myself, is this love, or am I just afraid to be alone? The answer scared me. I finally said it out loud one evening when he was with me. I don't think I can keep living like this. He looked confused. Hurt. He said he cared about me. That I mattered. That what we had was real. But I'm still a secret, I said softly. And he had no answer. That silence told me everything. Ending it didn't happen all at once. It happened slowly. Through unanswered messages. Through long walks alone. Through painful honesty with myself. When I finally told him goodbye, it wasn't dramatic. It was quiet. Gentle. Sad. And when he left, I cried, not because I lost him, but because I finally chose myself. Healing wasn't fast. Some days I missed him terribly. Some nights I almost reached out. But slowly, I started to rebuild my life. I saw friends again. I returned to the things that once made me happy. I remembered who I was before I became someone who waited. Months later, I realized something important. I wasn't addicted to him. I was addicted to the way he made me feel seen in a moment when I didn't see myself. And once I learned how to give that feeling to myself, I didn't need to borrow it from anyone else. Love shouldn't make you smaller. It shouldn't hide you. It shouldn't ask you to accept pieces when you deserve the whole. And now I know that when love comes again, it won't feel like waiting. It will feel like standing in the light, chosen, calm, and free.